not all leaks are equal, and we are too privileged in developed democratic countries into thinking that 100% transparency is always a good thing. It can lead to people being killed in countries where there isn't freedom of speech, and you have to be a bit more careful about what you leak, who you leak it to, and who you are leaking stories about. I think it's incredibly immature, irresponsible and privileged, Mr. Assange, for you to carry on behaving the way you are. And guess what? Boo-hoo, you've had your internet cut. If you're listening to this, call in to give me your opinion about that. 0345 6060973 is the number to call, or text 84850, or tweet at Majid Nawaz or at LBC. And as my guest to kick this hour off, we have Joseph Kotrie-Monson. I hope I pronounced your name correctly there, Joseph, who's director of Mary Monson Solicitors, based in London, Leeds, Manchester and Salford and Birmingham. Good afternoon, Joseph.
Good afternoon, Majid.
Did you hear my my little talk up there?
I did, and I must say, I've experienced all types of wacky and exciting things in the course of my career as a lawyer. Opening for Julian Assange, should he respond to your invitation, would be definitely a new experience.
One has to try, don't they, Joseph? Tell me, what do you think of all this? Are all leaks equal?
Okay, well, the broad question as far as leaks, the key word we've heard a couple of times in your introduction there is curated, isn't it?
Yeah.
Assange is essentially an information anarchist. He prides himself on saying, well, I'm not going to discriminate. What I'm trying to do is take away the veil of lies, the veil of dishonesty that exists in all world politics. And the reason that he's been able to do this with, and at least split the opposition, and on most issues probably have the popular support of the man on the street, is because the man on the street knows that the person on the street knows that he or she is being lied to on a daily basis, especially as far as foreign affairs is concerned. And you only need to look at Gaddafi and how he was the world's worst terrorist. Then he was being rehabilitated. Then the Arab Spring comes in, and straight away, okay, no fly zone. We're going to assist in him being toppled. And history is forgotten about good and bad in these wars, in these conflicts that we're supposed to be supporting or otherwise. There's such a short memory that even the man in the street feels at best confused, but in reality feels that somebody's pulling the wool over our eyes on a daily basis and using the media to do it. And the underdog in us is very much enlivened when we see stories of embarrassment of Angela Merkel or whoever else when their private conversations are leaked. However, of course, you've identified that there are potentially consequences, and sometimes tragic, fatal consequences to this. It's important to recognise that as far as this present situation is concerned, well, there's a sense that Sweden and Ecuador are now going through the motions to end this stalemate. You'll remember, Majid, that the reason that Julian is in the Ecuadorian embassy is because he's fled after an successful extradition attempt by Sweden to bring him to answer.
Of course, I didn't even go there, did I? With the outstanding rape allegations in Sweden.
That's right. I think that you don't have to be a tinfoil hat wearer to sense that there is a possibility that America's hand is involved in Sweden's actions there. I'm not necessarily saying that I believe it. I'm saying that it's a suspicion that many people have. However, there is sign of cooperation at the moment between the Ecuadorian embassy, or the state of Ecuador, and Sweden. And in fact, he was due to be questioned by an Ecuadorian prosecutor on Ecuadorian soil in London. And this banning of the internet, I mean, it's a rap on the knuckles. It won't disrupt WikiLeaks activities, but
because I suspect they're not being released from the embassy, are they? He's probably got some other people supporting him outside of the embassy.
Yeah. And there were a group of very exciting automated emergency tweets that signalled to his anarchist followers around the world. I wonder who got chosen to do it, because it wouldn't be very anarchic if
to coordinate it in that way.
But I guess it was. And that's now been taken over. But at a time when many states around the world are genuinely terrified of the consequences of a Trump presidency and the possibility of a Trump presidency, Ecuador is saying, we're only prepared to back you so far, Jules, as far as you standing for the freedom of information around the world when you're doing things, like you say, that have serious potential consequences, life and death consequences. The world will be a worse place in most people's view if Trump becomes president.
Yeah. Joseph there, thank you very much. That's Director of Kotrie-Monson Solicitors, based in London, Leeds, Manchester, Salford and Birmingham. It sounds like quite a big firm.